the southern sun. Rubber burns and the race has begun. Enters Racing League, the speed is our creed. Fuel the fire, we're born to lead. Lights go green and the world's a blur. Chasing glory, feel the engine purr. Wheels keep spinning, hearts on fire. Chasing the thrill, climbing higher and higher. We are the speed, we are the light. Enters Racing League, tearing through the night. Circuit kings with a need for pace. This is our time, this is our race. That's the lights. From Melbourne skies to Perth's dry heat, the asphalt sings beneath our feet. Every corner, every turn we own. Enters Racing League is home. No brakes, no fear, we own this track. Push the limit, no turning back. Faster, stronger, we're breaking through. Enters Racing League, it's what we do. We are the speed, we are the light. Enters Racing League, tearing through the night. Circuit kings with a need for pace. This is our time, this is our race. Enter my
Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. don't even think about it.
And we are back into Racing League action on your Sunday afternoon. A bit wet in quite a few places here in Australia at least, but good to have you with the Sunday afternoon Tier 1 action, round 3 at Miami. And we've seen two very exciting races in Tiers 3 and 2. So the quick boys up front, we'll see what they can provide this evening. Scotty in the box. First time I'm doing tier 1 this season, so looking forward to the competition I'm expecting out on track, but not alone, thankfully. I've got the one and only Mr. Golden Sniper in the box as well with me today. Mate, how are you?
Mate, it's a bloody pleasure to be here again. Usually I will be out with mates by now, but unfortunately shit fell through and we're here, so I'm unfortunately forced against my will. Please let me free.
I was going to say, don't say it like that. Come on. But then again, you can have a bit of fun by taking a piss out of a couple of these drivers. But we'll see.
Absolutely.
Hopefully it's clean. Miami, we know street circuit, definitely a bit of carnage we could potentially expect, but no safety cars in Tier 3 or Tier 2. So very surprising actually that we haven't seen a safety car. Will we see one tonight? Not sure, but yeah, I think it's going to be a hell of a race tonight, and we're 3 rounds in to the 8-10 round season. So Miami finishes off our month of July, and then obviously we have Mexico and the Brazil sprint before we head to our first break week mid-August. So we'll quickly look at last week's race results. We're not too far away from the green being shown in the lobby, but United States at Coda, it was Yusuf with the 3-second victory ahead of Websy and Jono rounding out our top 3. So Yusuf, Websy, Jono, not surprising with how quick those guys are.
Absolutely not, mate. They're just rapid. It's like someone's taken the Roadrunner and just put it into actual human beings.
Yeah, it's actually quite incredible. 14 drivers finishing. So everyone who finished did score points. Saul City, Letter P, Cam, Globroop, Broccolilly were your 5 DNFs. So don't believe they had a safety car either. So quite a few of our Instance races so far have been safety car free, which has actually been really good to see. Hopefully we can keep that trend continuing. We'll head over to our driver standings, and at the moment it is Meowsy Gaming with a 3-point lead over Yusuf, who's the reserve, both with a win apiece. Websy not too far behind in P3, just being ultra consistent with the one podium. Jono inside the top 4 as well, alongside Finns, those 5 drivers at least with 1 podium, and all finishing inside the top 5 all twice as well. So we haven't actually seen Sir Josh or anybody outside managing to climb their way up. That's how dominant those 5 have been. But yeah, definitely very tight at the top. But again, we're only two rounds into an 18-round calendar, so plenty can change. But Meowsy looking good so far.
Looking absolutely incredible. Obviously, also Rip. He had that lovely win in Canada. It was a pleasure to call that race, and it's gonna be a pleasure to call this one, mate. And yeah, let's just see what these boys can do.
Yeah, exactly right. We'll head over to our Tier 1 constructors, and it is not either team that has the victory. It is Williams, and I said consistency will be the key to claim these championships, and Williams with a healthy 17-point lead, mind you, after 2 rounds ahead of McLaren and Mercedes. So both Williams drivers are actually pulling their weight. So very good to see it. That is Websy, and I believe it is Finns that's the other Williams driver. So we know how competitive that Williams team is. I think I said in the draft that that's going to be one of the favourites for the Tier 1 chip, and yeah, that's no surprise whatsoever that even though they haven't quite been able to claim that victory, they're definitely leading the way with a healthy margin.
Definitely, you want consistency all throughout, and for the Williams TP to get both drivers of such a great caliber and speed, it's just you wonder, was it a mistake to maybe let them go down the order so early for the other teams?
Yeah, I think obviously Websy definitely was a little bit lucky because he was the second driver for Williams, and I believe he had pick 3 or 4 if I'm not mistaken. So he actually got a quite a high pick considering what we think of Websy. So as I said, it's going to be a very dominant team. But as we have a look at our overall constructors, Williams doesn't quite have the top mark because Mercedes, my team, currently leading the way by 35 points. So Mercedes having a good bunch of drivers through all 3 tiers, very consistent. Obviously, Jono being driving very nicely in tier 1. Obviously, you've got Limitless Draco. He's getting some good results. Podium last night, I should say, in Miami. Obviously, those scores those points haven't been added. This is after United States, and then you've obviously got King Dogger and Kimi Antonelli go in tier 3. So Mercedes looking very strong. Williams obviously haven't quite got the points in tier 2 and tier 3, but again, early stages, 35 points behind Haas and Red Bull. They're the other 2 teams inside the top 4.
Just the thing on McLaren, obviously, Meows has been very strong in this tier. You do wonder, do maybe their teammate can possibly push a little bit more? Do you know if he's racing today or no?
Sorry, who's that, Meowsy?
Yeah, no, sorry, Josh.
Oh, sorry, Josh.
Joshy boy.
We do have a fair few. We've got 4 reserves. So Campbell Adams is currently in the Aston Martin. You got Lord Mojave in the Alpine. You got Piastri driving for Mercedes, who's replacing Toddy, and then you got Checkered Flash Checkered Flash in place of the Red Bull. So we are missing a few guys this evening, but it is a full grid, and we actually have been given the green flag. But Campbell Adams, Lord Mojave, and Piastri go racing tonight. This is going to be a hell of a quick grid.
This is a very good grid, mate. Just up and down, pace everywhere, consistency with everyone. Let's just hope there's no incidents early on.
Yeah, hopefully not. Lobby's gone green. Saucity is now into the lobby, Broseph, as we have a look at the Miami preview. 19 corners around this 5.12 kilometer circuit, 3 DRS zones. It will be 29 laps around this Miami street circuit. Obviously, Track Evolution very high at 5. You'll see the quick times at the end of qualifying. Not a lot of vibration, a lot of asphalt grip. And sort of medium range in terms of the tyre stress braking, lateral movement and downforce, but do not be surprised if everyone is running ridiculously low wings, because that's what a lot of guys were running yesterday. So you're probably looking at single digit wings, I'd imagine, for probably most of the grid. So it is going to be very tough to pass, and it is going to be very tough to pass if you're in a DRS train 3rd or 4th back.
Absolutely, just crazy track for everything, to be honest. Miami had a good couple races here and there, my own couple leagues. Definitely very tricky to overtake, especially around sector 2.
And see, the interesting is that you've got, as we'll head over to the gameplay now. So interesting thing is with Miami is, as Jamin was also saying in the chat, tyre stress is only at a 3, but it should be a lot higher because a lot of drivers in both Tier 3 and Tier 2 having to do the 2-stop because they're just worried that the tyres won't last. However, if you look at the race winners, both in Tier 3 and Tier 2, the 1-stop came out on top. So it's the drivers that can really nurse these tyres that you will find on the top step of the podium tonight.
Obviously, tyre wear is definitely a big factor, and it's going to be really interesting to see who risks it for that 1-stop, or they just all play it safe, go for the 2-stopper.
Very, very curious indeed. We do have Letter P, the first car in on track this evening. So watch Letter P. I believe he has a 10-second penalty, I think, carrying over. So wherever he finishes, I believe he'll get a 10-second penalty. So Letter P finishes, that's what he'll cop. And yes, he does. I just double-checked that. So yeah, unfortunate for P. Obviously, sort of in between tiers 1 and 2 P. Obviously picked in tier 1 this season. So fingers crossed that he can do well tonight. As we've got a few more drivers coming out. Sniper, before we see Letter P's lap, how do you feel as an actual track around Miami to drive?
Now, if you were talking about 24 on Miami, mate, just flying, everything's all nice and clean. 25 though, definitely a little bit more tricky. There's a lot more tightness around some of these corners. On 24, you can really hook it around. I believe it's turn 14 and 15. That little nice little chicane before the long back straight. But on this one, the walls are much closer together. You can't really have that edge around. You gotta be very precise and not absolutely just twat the walls.
Well, we'll follow Letter P through their first flying lap as they come down with a bit of DRS down the start-finish straight. They get to the right-hander of turn 1. Got to be careful through 2 and 3 because the curbs can absolutely kill you. But he makes it through there not too badly as he makes his run up through turn 4. Got to be careful on the curb on the inside because that will really bounce you up. However, they flatten these corners through 5 and 6. And probably the toughest corner on the track for me, I reckon, turn 7, just trying to carry the speed and try and nail the exit. But now we get onto the long back straight, and it is pretty much one of your two big opportunities for an overtake. DRS carries a long way down this straight as we head through curves, flat out 9 and 10 through turn 11, and then this twisty middle sector as turn number 12, switching to the left-hand side of 13, and then this ugly chicane manages to navigate that nicely, 13 and 14, 15, and then onto this final straight, turn 16. So it's a bit of a tough corner to get the speed and traction onto this straight, but DRS, so coming up to your final braking zone, turn 17, easily descend and move down the inside. Got to be careful of the curb on the outside. Got to be careful of loss of traction as well. And then flat out through 18, going and trying to cut as much as you can through 19. Crossing the line now does Letter P go. He goes a 27.672 to open up our Tier 1 qualifying here at Miami. As Lord Mojave goes just 2 seconds quicker on a 25.7.
Just really quick times already, 27s, 26s, 25s. It is just, wow, and more times flying into the 26s. That just really shows how quick these guys can be around a very difficult track to navigate.
Yeah, and we know what pace Lord Mojave has, but it's Alpine 1 and 2, but Polo obviously 7/10 behind. Lord Mojave obviously the reserve this evening. Fat Cat Batman in the other Sauber goes to 26.4. As, let's see, Campbell Adams is on a hot lap. Would not surprise me if Campbell goes straight to the top as he comes around the final bend, crossing the line, and he goes a 24.5. Absolutely ridiculous. Pole last night in Tier 2 was a 25.9 by Zilla. Campbell's just beaten that by nearly 1.5 seconds.
That is completely mental. This man knows no boundaries. His speed is incredible, and to be honest, I do see him. I'm sure most people see him as a massive title contender for this season.
Yeah, he's doing some good work. I remember watching one of the races he was in. I think last weekend, or earlier last week in Europe, and as I said, he's doing well. Obviously, trying to smash through over there. But yeah, that's a hell of a lap from Campbell Adams. Sir Josh is 1.2 seconds off. So yeah, I think Campbell Adams would not surprise me if he's actually clinched pole position already. But again, 12.5 minutes left to go in the session. Shady Jarvis in the Haas goes into P2. Now, if someone could please remind me who that... Oh, I think that's checkered. I believe that's checkered flag. All these bloody stupid name changes, I'm sort of getting confused. But checkered does a 25.1, so that's a hell of a lap time. Problem is still 6/10 off Campbell. Meowsy's done a 25.7. And Jono in P6. The Aston Martin does a 26.0 as Websy goes near the Haas, 25.196, so nice lap from Websy as well. Obviously consistently putting his times right up there. So quick lap times in, only waiting for the last 4. But yeah, Campbell, massive lead.
Massive lead. You could almost pull a Sebastian Vettel, maybe just stick one lap in and then just stick it in the pits and just wait it out. But I don't really see anyone pulling that quick of a time to be
Nah,
honest.
I don't think so. As I said, I switched over to Farmer Sam because he did have damage. I did see the FW on my second screen, and Sam's hit the wall at some point, potentially on his hot luck at some point, but he did do a 26.2. But Sam obviously coming in, get that fixed, and a new set of tyres. 11 minutes left to go in the session. Just waiting for Checkered Flash, who just comes across the line now. They put a 29.5, so they'll go chuck another set of tyres on. Fraser Clegg, or Fins, as others know him as, currently in P19, no lap time on the board. Fraser's obviously doing very well did very well in the opening 2 races. Oscar Piastri, the other reserve, replacing Toddy this evening. No lap time on the board due to an invalidation, so he is plumb last at the moment. But again, plenty of time to get a lap on the board. Websy should be in as well. So again, not surprising. We're seeing pretty much 1 lap runs for the top guys in Tier 1. And then, spin for Josh, and he does slightly hit the wall. Thankfully, he shouldn't have done too much damage. But again, we've seen plenty of spins so far this weekend in turn number 3. And Josh, again, just unfortunately been caught out. As we see Checkered Flash coming through the middle chicane. And then through 16, but I think this is going to be a bit of a colder lap, so it goes P18. Josh is in P16, so a lot of guys in pit lane. Fat Cat Batman, the other Sauber, just starting their next lap, only P12 for the Sauber driver. So clear track ahead and makes it nicely through turn number 3. Oh, it's Zog. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, I somewhat get the names. I'm sort of checking the lineup as well. But yes, thank you, Zox. So, Zox in P8 at the moment, 26 flat, as we see Fat Cat Batman in the Sauber P12. So, coming down the first straight. Yes, Zilla, you thought your pole time was good. Yeah, you're about a second and a half behind. So, yeah, that's how good Campbell is. See yellow flag, just the other Sauber getting out of the way. Fat Cat Batman through the chicane. Had a big slide, climbed the curb though. So would have lost a bit of time. He's still up by 0.8 of a second, so you're looking at a mid-25. Could be close between 3rd and 4th. Maybe squeezing into that gap. Thankfully, he wouldn't have lost too much time, being you sort of have the exit of the entry of 16 not too far behind, far in front, I should say. So, looks like a cleaner final sector. So, Fat Cat Batman goes into P4, exactly what I thought in that gap, 25.5. Nice lap, currently on the second row of the grid. 8 minutes left to go in the session. So, as we see letter P, here's the next one. I think we've got other McLaren as well. Got Ferrari of Oliver just starting their next lap. Currently on a 26.6. As we follow him through 5, 6, trying to take as much curb as he can. Climbs on that curb to get onto the back straight. I have no clue how these guys get their times. The freaks of nature a little bit, but that's just how impressive they've been, especially with sort of seeing them just increase their pace as well. They've been fantastic. As we see Oliver through turn 12, turn 13, and then 14 and 15, the chicane. Might actually get a little bit of a toe as he comes through 16. So he's up by a couple of tenths. He's got to try and grab as much of that toe as he can. Probably not as enough. That Aston was definitely eager to get out of the way. So up by a couple of tenths. He may not even jump a spot. He might have lost a lot of his time through this corner on his last lap. But full beans through 18 and 19. Crossing the line now. And Oliver did find a bit more time. But again, he only moved up 1 as Campbell went even quicker. How? I think it was only by about 300ths of a second or 500ths of a second, but Campbell's gone even quicker and still holds that 6/10 gap. Checkered, because in abandoned this current lap. Webbsy's slightly up as he makes his way through turn 12. So absolutely flying.
That man is a machine. To even find even more time, just to irk his lead even more for pole, he could really, he could definitely floor Sebastian Vettel. And I don't even think people might even get into the 24s, to be honest.
Well, I reckon he'll go for another lap. So I reckon he'll go out. He might go out for another lap on his final set of softs, and all three of his laps will probably be good enough for pole. As we see Webbsy, he was about equal through the second sector, and he actually lost even more time. Actually, it wasn't by a lot, but he lost time. So Campbell's the only one of the top group that have seemed like they've actually been able to improve their lap time on this sort of middle run. So track conditions sort of there as Jono's invalidated. Currently in P7, Lord Mahavir is currently 8, also invalidated. Zox, 2.5 tenths up, currently in P10. He find a little bit more time, he can jump up to P8. Actually lost time as Fraser's actually retired. Oh, that's out on track actually. What has happened there? Where is that Alpine? So it was Lord Mahavir and I think Fraser have come together on track. So, and does Fraser have wing damage? No. Maybe Fraser did that on himself. And I reckon he potentially could have hit the wall on that inside, trying to sort of make as much room as he can. He might have done that.
Very unfortunate for someone who knows very quick. But yeah, like I said before, that they've timed the track up a little bit. Not much room to really squeeze out of that little chicane. It's just very infuriating.
Yeah, and also dirty air. I know a few of the tier 1 boys are mentioning dirty air as well, especially in the tighter parts of the track that can absolutely kill pace off your lap. As Zox obviously invalidated, but he'll be in the pits this lap. Saucity, he was slightly up, but he's invalidated as well at some point. And a lot of the time you're going to be invalidating either through sector 1 or maybe just cutting a little bit too much of that chicane. So they're your two sort of main areas that you will invalidate. Oscar Piastri currently 13th. Currently 2 laps, but he's at least got a lap time on the board now. So Fraser will be the only one yet, or will be the only one to not set a lap time, I should say. As Jamie is on an out lap as well. Oscar's definitely in. So Jamie only went out on track at the moment. So he's gone slightly earlier than the rest. So we'll see how Jamie does shortly. Yeah, Angeli, you're right. There's no point saving Sauce. Obviously, Sniper, we know how difficult it is to sort of save tyres around here. They just eat them up. They chew up, especially the medium tyres. They just do not last.
Absolutely not. It's just ridiculous how much wear you can get on a track that on paper looks actually quite decent. But yeah, just a lot of places the grip is just really losing, especially around turn 3. We saw a couple of incidents already. Let's just hope these boys, I know they're quick, but let's hope they can know their way around the tyres a little bit too much as well.
So we see Jamie on their final lap. So the issue they're going to have is they did have the track all their own, but they're going to have a lot of cars in front of them that are going to be on their out lap. So hopefully he doesn't get affected too much by dirty air or traffic. So we've seen Jamie come through down this windy straight that technically has 2 corners in it. But he makes his way through turn 11. This is going to be the part where he could make up a lot of time. So I know Jamie was practicing a little bit early. He wasn't sort of having a lot of fun with the fair few of his laps. Takes that chicane nicely though. As he switches to the left-hand side to get the good exit out at 16. Nearly hits the wall. He's half a second up. That will put him just outside the top 10. So if he's got a little bit more time, sadly he won't get any DRS. Hopefully the guys that are down this straight get out of the way. Oh, I think that just put Jamie off just a little bit. He wouldn't have been happy about that. So hopefully he can still keep his half-second gap. Crosses the line. He cuts it as much as he can. He does. Goes just outside the top 10 in P11, but I reckon there was slightly more time in it. But then again, he was having to try and find a 3/10 gap, so maybe P11 was the best for Jamie. Who are you seeing that's looking quick on their last flying lap?
Well, that's a very good question. Everyone's flying around. There's so many cars to even look at right now. It's just now I know how you feel flicking through everyone, mate. Jesus.
Yeah, so
Who will be next to cross? It will be Jono's starting his out lap. Let's see if one of the racing bulls are flying through. No, that's also okay. I can't do camera work. Jesus.
No, that's all right. I think looking at the times, Apollo's looking like to be on a quick one. He's currently down in P12. He was near the front. He's 3.5 tenths up. So he'll jump into the 25s. He'll maybe squeak inside the top 10 if he keeps the gap at the moment. 20 seconds left to go in qualifying. Round 3, Tier 1 enters. And Apollo round the final braking corner. Through 18 and 19. Can Apollo move inside the top 10? No, he can't. He just misses out. P11. And there's a fair few guys still out on track as you got the Mercedes. Oh, and that's a big collision. Oscar, he had spun, sit in the middle of the track, and Checkered Flag had absolutely nowhere to go. He is out of the race. Meanwhile, Campbell Adams went even quicker. He's gone to 24.4. Lord Mojave has spun on the start-finish straight. So chaos happening everywhere. Fat Cat Batman goes P6. Lord Mojave is 7th. Webbs is about a 10th and a bit up. Going through the middle chicane. Hits the wall. There's end plate damage through the chicane. It wasn't Webbsy. Yellow flag. So carnage. People trying to get lap times in. Checkered Flag never having a chance to complete their final lap. So Webbsy, can he pinch P2 and get onto that front row? He's got one corner left to navigate. Jono goes up inside the top 4. Second row for the Mercedes driver. Round turn 17. It looked clean. He had traction. So he'll cut the corner. Can he squeeze second place? He can. He only found half a tenth, but it was enough. He goes onto the front row. Meowsy's P5. So Joshy in P6. Backcat Batman in P7. Farmer Sam's gone to 8th. Lord Mojave in 9th. How's Apollo doing? He's not going any quicker, and he's the last one that can do anything. So that is qualifying over and done. And Campbell Adams, I said all 3 laps were going to be good enough for pole. They were good enough for pole by 0.6 of a second. Campbell Adams is your pole man this evening.
Up and down, just never looked like anyone else, to be honest. Even from the get-go, he had that really good lap right at the start, and he looks to be running away with this already, and it's the race hasn't even started yet. Someone call the race off already, get him on the podium.
Well, do you want to take us through our top 20 drivers in qualifying?
We'll throw in Meowsy on the podium as well. Why not? Had a good race in Canada, and to be honest, looks very good already in Miami.
Yeah, he's looking quick. It would have been interesting to see what Checker could have done. But Campbell, Webbsy, Checker, Jono, Meowsy, Sir Joshy, Fat Cat, Batman, Farmer Sam, Lord Marvy, and Zox are your top 10. Polo, Jamie, Oliver, Saucity, Oscar Piastri, Goat, Tyler, Josh, Letter P, Checkered Flash, and then Fraser Clegg. Obviously, not the only driver yet to settle, did not set a lap time and starts this race from plumb last. So, again, I think it was a crash on circuit. But, yeah, that was chaotic final stretch. And, yeah, I think Checkered Flag potentially could have been into the 24s if he didn't get hit. If he didn't get hit, but again, I don't see him doing a mid-24 or getting anywhere close to Campbell. But again, qualifying is one thing. The race is up next, and if Campbell gets away and leads lap 1, I really don't see many other people trying to beat him unless maybe we get a little bit of carnage and late safety cars and all that jazz. All right, so we're just waiting for tyres for the guys to select. I'd imagine it's either going to be a hard or a medium. I expect a lot of guys will be on the medium. Obviously, 2-stop may be favourable, but again, the 2 winning drivers so far this week, Keeping Unseen and Cash Mash, both opting to do the 1-stop, and the 1-stop has worked. So we'll see what the guys can do up front, and yeah, we'll see if the strategy is different or the same. As we do have the lights now on. Round 3, Tier 1 is underway. It looked like a solid start from Campbell. I don't think Websy had the jump on him. He didn't. Campbell should be able to take one. Websy's going to actually lunge him into turn number 1. Problem is Campbell will have the better traction around the outside. He keeps the race lead. We've got a yellow flag towards the back, and that's one of the sours, Letter P. He has not had the best lap 1, and he is at the back. Hopefully hasn't picked up any damage as we come through the S's for the first time. And Campbell with the half-second lead already, as there's a little bit of side-by-side action between the two Alpines and the RB of Farmer Sam. As we make our way onto the back straight for the first time. Single fault. It looks like Letter P's the only one that's been affected in the first sector. As you can see, the Aston Martin of Zox trying to get his way through Apollo. As there's a little bit of movement further down, but single file for the most part. And you got the Red Bull having a bit of a go. Saucity on the Aston Martin. Goes around the outside of turn 12. That will leave him the inside. As do they still make it through 13? They do. The Aston Martin nearly hits the wall. 14 and 15. He's slow off the chicane. And I think that not quite wing damage. It looked like a bit of debris, but they got through clean. So end of lap, or near the end of lap 1. And Campbell, he got the great start that he wanted. Fought off the challenge from Websy. And he will remain race leader as we head on to lap number 2.
Absolutely cracking start from Campbell. Had a little bit of fight with the other Williams, but unfortunate for Letter P, he did have, I believe, I just double checked whilst you were doing a lovely commentary, he got both of his end plates absolutely just massacred off his car.
Yeah, I'm seeing as well, Oscar Piastri coming into the pits. He also has front wing damage, so potentially a collision between those two. Or it's just sort of at the back, lap 1 mayhem. Tyler gets past Oliver as we got a yellow flag. So we've had another spinner. That's Checkered Flash. He's gone at turn number 3. He's got clear track to do a flick spin turn. He'll get it back the right way. Just got to be careful about just trying to just cool those tyres down and get back underway. Just, yeah, hot tyres equals more spins. As Campbell's already cleared a second. It's only taken him 1 lap. And he's already 1.5 seconds clear. So wave bye-bye to Campbell because we won't be seeing him much. It's going to be Websy and Jono who will be in P2, P3. Check it in P4. We'll get tyres up while I do that. And everybody, as I thought, on the medium tyres. I reckon he probably started on the medium tyres as well. So he's gone on to the hards. He'll try and go long and extend. But everybody, those two that have boxed on lap 1 will have to pit again. So, as we see, a couple of guys just sort of have a bit of a look to the inside, but no moves happening except further back. You've got Zogs getting ahead of Saucity as that McLaren just barely able to stop, and he turns the Red Bull of Saucy. Saucy's got to stay still as the Ferrari thankfully just avoids. But that could have been badly, as a bit of a no-no that Saucy just didn't remain until sort of the rest of the track was clear. But, yeah, that's unfortunately not his fault. I think it was Josh went way too deep, or just couldn't pull it up in time, and that potentially we could see that in the stewards by the end of this race. As we just have a look, Alpine Lord Mahavi, I think he was very close to losing the 1 second for DRS, but he hasn't. As Checkered Flash, our first retirement, so it has gone bad for Timmy's team so far. Saucity with sort of being hit from behind and spinning, and Checkered Flash with the DNF pit and quit. So down to 19. Lord Mahavi just barely keeping within 1 second. He's got to try and just hang on as much as he can. Otherwise he could be in a bit of danger, and we could see this field split in 2 very soon. As Fraser from the back of the grid, he's up 12 spots, mind you. He's up 8. So he's had a terrific 2.5 laps, and we'll see what pace he's got trying to fight his way through the rest of this field.
Absolutely crazy from Fraser, sorry. To get up so many positions in such quick time. You'd wonder though, was the contact, if there was contact between Letter P and Oscar Piastri, may have jarred everyone at the back a little bit, and that maybe caused Fraser to jump up so many positions so quick.
Yeah, because I did see him in like P14 not too far after. I think might have still been on lap 1 as well. So he actually made a great getaway, and he's actually just outside DRS, but he's just closed in. If he's got a bit of battery to spare, he'll be able to just push this a little bit more to sort of close back up. Meanwhile, we haven't caught up. I haven't seen much of Websy in the last lap or two, but he's holding Jono, Checkered, Meowsy at bay. DRS, obviously a long DRS straight here. Jono on board with the Mercedes driver. As in, I don't think these guys will really be in too much of a hurry to really fight each other that hard. I think these guys know that Campbell's gone, so probably 2 podium spots, and you can still probably count maybe the top 8, 9 drivers still in it. Lord Mojave's actually done well to close back well with inside DRS, so he's done a nice job, and he's bringing his teammate along with him. Apollo just barely keeping inside the 1 second as well. So Sniper, obviously this is sort of now the next stage. It's settled down after the first couple of laps, and as I said, I have a feeling that with a lot of these guys probably running quite low wings, we're just pretty much going to be sitting in a DRS train, I reckon, until we start seeing that tyre wear, which probably wouldn't surprise me if we start kicking in now, because I'm seeing a few of these numbers shared by a few of the drivers, and they're quite high already after only 5 laps.
It really goes to show how some could be aggressive driving orders to the track. Obviously, all the heat it is Miami after all, just really digging in to the tarmac.
Yeah, I was hoping for a little bit of rain for my race yesterday, but it is bone dry over in Miami. I think it rains actually on Monday for them, so we missed out a little bit, but rain would have made this a little bit more interesting and maybe a little bit better for myself, especially if everyone was still going to run low wings. But we see Fat Cat Batman. Oh, no, we don't. We see Sir Joshy having to defend from Farmer Sam, or Sir Joshy getting a little bit sideways in the braking zone. Still managing to do that. We've got Saucity and Oliver swapping positions, but these guys are outside DRS range. Obviously, Saucity losing time with the spin. Jamie currently running in P15. I think his goal is just to finish and score points. Big slide through 13. And that was very close to, I reckon, to cut in the chicane at 14 and 15. So, no penalties at the moment. So, won't see a ton of pens, but you can see definitely a few drivers with 3 seconds. So, just got to be a little bit mindful. As Meowsy's just dropped off the back a little bit here, 1.1 seconds. So we're just starting to see this top end group just start breaking up a little bit. Tyler and Josh going side by side off the exit of 17, through 18, through 19. Josh gets back inside the slipstream. He's going to take the outside line. Problem is not quite having the top end speed to get that move done, so he'll sit in behind, try and have a go through the next DRS straight, as Oliver is in only 5 laps off the mediums. He goes to the hard compound tyre, so big undercut for Oliver. Would not surprise me if we start seeing these early pit stops very shortly, maybe to get out of this train and get a big undercut. We know how impressive the undercut is. You can easily gain up to 3 seconds a lap, but obviously then that costs you at the end of your stint, so we'll keep an eye on that. As Jono Websy Checkered, yeah, they've definitely broken Meowsy, and he's really having to look back for Fat Cat and Sir Joshy. So, lap 6:29. So, we're seeing battle for P5 and no DRS, and that is an easy move for Fat Cat Batman. So we'll see if the Sauber's got a bit more pace, maybe try and close up to the back of Checkered Flag. He needs to find half a second. Meanwhile, you got the Alpine going side by side. Lord Mojave and Farmer Sam. We know the issues these two have had in the past, both here at Inters and elsewhere. And it was a clean fight. Farmer Sam trying to hold on to that P7. Oh, I thought Lord Mojave was going to send another move down at turn 1. But clean racing so far between these two. And it's been fascinating, sort of the thing there. Oh, so he's had a big lose through turn 3. He's kept it the same, but he's clearly had a big slide. Lord Mojave around the outside of turn 5. Great move. So Joshy just trying to obviously get his tyre temps back under. I reckon it was a big slide, maybe hit the curb through 3. And he's back down to P8, and Apollo is really looking to get past. But all these guys will have DRS. So on board with Apollo. a single file. It's got to be Lord Mojave and Farmer Sam Part 2. Oh, there's a little bit of contact that forces Farmer Sam wide. Oh, and a big slide for the Alpine driver. Perfect view off the Ferrari as you got the Williams driver of Fraser, who's moved up inside the top 10 now, trying to find his way through. It's been clean up the front, but getting a bit chaotic in this midfield pack. As we go side by side, the Williams trying to have another look. As Fraser's already up into the top 9. He's on the mediums. He's absolutely flying. Benoni has a spin. And he hits the wall just as soon as I open my mouth saying he's having a hell of a race. He finds himself in the wall. He's past the pit lane entry. And he will be going around without an end plate. And yeah, I've absolutely cursed him there. Apologies for that, Fraser. So he's going to be really straight through here. The Aston Martin trying to get down the inside. Campbell's already made his pit stop, and he's already back up into P8, so he's gone super early. Well, not super early, but he's definitely gone early. I'm surprised he didn't extend with the gap that he had. But Campbell in P8, probably doing the 2-stop, being that he boxed so early. Yeah, no, I don't know. As soon as I opened my big mouth, Finns was around. Problem is, Finns was doing well, but that is big damage off the left-hand side front wing. So he'll be back in again. But looking at these tyres, a fair few of these drivers are very close to 50% tyre wear. So that's actually really spread open this field. So a couple of guys came in. So Meowsy, Farmer Sam, Apollo, Tyler. They were the 4 drivers that came in while we were watching Finns have his moment through the final corner. So that's why there's a bit of field spread now. So these guys, Fat Cat, Lord Mojave, would not surprise me if they box this lap to try and cover. But with the way that the undercut works, it would not surprise me if they're going to lose a ton of position. Jono comes into the box, potentially trying to undercut Websy. As Lord Mojave stays out alongside Sir Joshy. As you got Fat Cat, Jono, Zox, you got Josh, you got Fraser, you got Jamie, all coming in off the medium compounder tyres. So Campbell is effectively your race leader, top 4 yet to pit. As where does Jono come out? Because he would be near. Oh, he's actually got a good gap. Meowsy is clear. Fat Cat just ahead of Farmer Sam, but Farmer Sam will have more tyre temp. As you see, Campbell getting already past Sir Joshy. He's not actually too far off the lead. He's only 7 seconds off the lead. That's how far Campbell is in front. Saucity on 8 laps as Lord Mojave gets overtaken by Campbell up inside the top 3. And he's got some clear track now ahead of him, Campbell, to push on. As you got Fat Cat, Batman and Farmer Sam within a second of each other. And Farmer Sam too far back to have an overtake. And yeah, this field spread just gotten a little bit with a couple of these pit stops. A couple of guys making the most of the undercut. As you got Saucity just ahead of Jono. Would like to clear Saucity very shortly. As surely Websy is coming into the pits this lap. As he's got Checkered Flag right behind him. Do we see these two come in? No, they stay out. And I have a feeling with these two staying out, these guys are potentially going to try and do the 1-stop. As Jono gets past Saucity through DRS. Much needed. Didn't lose a lot of time. That's what killed a few drivers' races yesterday in Tier 2 was just the traffic and unable to get through, especially on the 2-stop. As Saucy does come in from P7 and he'll make his pit stop. So a lot of guys having made their first pit stop already onto the hards. So lap 10 of 29 and it is close still between the top 2. As we'll keep an eye on this battle for the time being. Campbell's eaten 3 seconds into this margin already. Last lap time, 32.2 for Websy, 31.5 for Checkered Flag, a 28.6 for Campbell. He's absolutely flying. So as we see the Aston Martin driver P1, so making his way through, you got Lord Mojave and Sir Joshy. They're staying out again. They might be trying the 1-stop. They're losing a whole bunch of time while doing this. So as we, oh, yellow flag. Oh, that's the Sauber. I have a feeling that's P. Yeah, it was probably a slide. I don't think he's got any damage. No, he doesn't. Gotten away with it. But again, he stopped lap 1, so his tyres aren't going to be feeling great either. So, top 2. Oh, Webbsy's in. Checkered stays out. But Webbsy's going to have lost a lot of time, and Jono will claim P2 outright. And he's got a decent margin ahead of Meowsy, who's under real pressure from Fat Cat Batman on board with the Sauber driver. No move happening there. But this is going to be an interesting battle. That climbing over the curb at turn 1. And just try and easily stay within 1 second. Bit of battery saving as well. Farmer Sam not too far behind these two. Just try and stay within DRS, but he lost a bit of time through the S's. But the detection point for DRS is after this corner. And I think Farmer Sam's going to just be out of it, sadly. So he might drop a little bit. And Webbsy, you can see the margin that sort of he's lost to Jono. 9 versus 16. Yeah, he lost 7 seconds, Webbsy, for just staying out those extra couple of laps. So he'll get the tyre wear back, but it's a hell of an amount of time that he's lost, as you got Zox and Apollo swapping positions. So Zoc back up inside the top 10. Apollo just outside. These two work together. They can try and close back up, and I have a feeling that's Letter P again going around at turn 3. It's not liking that corner whatsoever. And this time he does have front wing damage on the right-hand side, as you can see from the aerial shot. As you got Jono and Sir Joshy swapping positions. You've got Fat Cat and Meowsy swapping positions as well. So Meowsy just has not looked like he's got a ton of pace on this game, on this track tonight. He's still in reach for a good top 5, but really struggling. Lord Mahavir drops behind Jono. Obviously 11 laps on those medium tyres, so he would be absolutely screaming. Same as Checkered Flag, who's already dropped behind Campbell Adams, and Campbell's actually made another stop. Or he's already made 1 stop, I should say. Already 2 seconds behind. Yellow flag. That is Letter P. He's had an issue. I think we've got a virtual safety car. Oh, and that was a intentional attempt at a DNF. On P, just bring it into the pit lane. And, oh, safety car. So, Sniper, this is going to absolutely change everything. Those who hadn't made a pit stop, they'll come in for a free stop. So, Letter P, obviously, he's had another issue. And that's a little bit naughty from P. A little bit disappointing. He'll go with the DNF. That's an intentional DNF. So, unfortunately, I believe it's going to be a quali or a race ban for P. He's not enjoying himself at the moment. So, unlucky for P. He's had a bit of a nightmare start. He'll have to cop the pen for that. And then we'll see him maybe in a couple of weeks. Have a bit of a spell.
Sorry for cutting you off there, mate. It's yeah, just unfortunate for P. Not the best of races, but I'm sure we'll take a result on the chin, take the quality of the race ban, and just hope he can just have a much more fortunate race than this. But as you did say before, the medium runners do get a free stop, lovely on the nice, fresh, hard tyres. As we do see Shady Jarvis and Lord Mahavir flying into the pit lane. Jono, for now, is in a P1, but Campbell's actually pit again off those hards.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So he's boxed again. So he feels like he can get the hards home from here, and you probably definitely get the hards home from here, because a lot of the guys obviously stopped lap 8, lap 9, knowing that they were always going to do a 2-stop. But you were able to manage to get your mediums to lap 13. You were always able to get the 1-stop from here. However, you got Jono, you got Fat Cat Batman. These safety car laps will save them tyre wear, but they still box incredibly early. So I don't know if they're going to try and get these home from here, or if they're going to sort of take their losses and maybe make a stop in about 7-8 laps, chuck on maybe a new hard or a new medium, and then try and fight their way through the field. But this safety car's probably forced everybody onto the 1-stop. And we might be very close to a few punches by the end of this race if everyone does try and survive to the end.
You wonder who's actually going to risk it in the puncture territory round. I believe 80%.
70% is when you can start getting them. Some people have been really lucky and don't get them till about 90, 95. Some people have been really unlucky and get them 75, 80. So luck of the draw when you can when the punch actually goes on you. But as I said, there's a few drivers. I'm having a quick look. So there's a few people as high as sort of you get into that 25% range already. And yeah, it is going to be a tough ask to get them home from here. Even though I believe, if I quickly have a look at the Tier 2 stats from yesterday. So our race winning strat was Cash Bash, and he came in off the mediums on lap 11 and he got them home. So obviously the guys that made the free pit stop, which was Checkered and Lord Mojave, they will easily get home if they had any sort of tyre life compared to Cash Bash, especially with the safety car laps. But in saying that, we should be green this lap, depending on how quickly Oscar catches up. Or he might slow this down and actually make it another lap. And honestly, if they go another lap, that might help everybody in terms of tyre wear. But you just got to you got to be careful and just not put any tyre temp into these tyres and just try and coast around as much as you can. So we might actually have a few boys on this restart that will have very cold tyres, and turn one may be interesting on this restart.
Who do you feel would have the best jump out of the top three? Jono, Fat Cat, and Mr. Meowsy.
It's going to be tough. Webbsy's sort of been a little bit lucky here, where he's got an extra 3 laps on his hards. Meowsy's obviously got 6 laps, so he's going to be the one in trouble. Jono, it depends. These guys were never sort of able to break. Jono never got past Webbsy in the first stint, but he obviously made the undercut work. So it is going to be tough for Jono to even break the guys behind. But I have a feeling Campbell is going to he's going to be stuck behind in traffic. He's somehow going to feed through these guys like butter, I have a feeling. So that's it. I think Campbell still give him the win. In terms of P2 and P3, Checkered flags on a new hard compounded tyre. He's got fresh tyres compared to the guys ahead. So you can't pick. It's going to be very, very close. Oscar, he won't catch, so we'll go around one more time as Broadstart has joined. So I have a feeling he's helping his Haas boys with a bit of engineering. He's cheekily sent a couple of drivers DNF, so he's jumping in. So Checkered and Tyler, P6, P11, good points at the moment for Haas. Aston Martin running in P5 and P7, but I think we know Cam will probably move up a few positions. RB, JB inside the top 10, Farmer Sam just outside. McLaren scoring well as well. Meowsy currently in P3, Josh in P8. So some good point scorers. Mercedes P1 and P18, but it's probably the first time since lap 1 that Oscar's actually been sort of at the back of the train. So we'll actually see what pace Oscar has. Maybe trying to claw through with a new front wing. So this is going to be an exciting restart. We should be back under green this lap. So we'll start lap 16. That will leave us 14 laps on a set of hard compounded tyres that some will struggle to get to the end. Others will have a bit more ease. I fear for the top 3 because they're going to be on all the tyres with everybody with a fair few boxing. And yeah, Jono's got his work cut out if he can try and hold on to this podium. We should be in green this lap. Sniper, what's your take on the restart? Who we thinking? We think Campbell P1. Who's your couple of other drivers running out this podium?
Again, very tough. Just a lot of caliber up throughout me, just everywhere, to be honest. Campbell's obviously winning unless we curse him extremely. He's just really quick. We'll throw in Webbsy on the podium. I reckon he's got a lot more pace than the people in front, and through no fault of anything apart from the biggest inside joke I've thought of in my life. Farmer Sam's little sheep from Canada, Jono, will throw him in P3.
He's going to have a tough ask, but he does that. But also saying that, Comms Curse has worked so far today, so we'll see. Campbell, he's got work to go in P5, but we're back underway here at Miami, and Jono actually got a nice restart. He is well cleared. Sauber, nearly 7/10. He got the jumpers. He wanted Websy. Or is that, though? That was Meowsy. He's dropped back from P3. He's gone super deep, whether he's had contact, but he is miles down the field. He's near his teammate. So he's dropped 4 positions off the restart. So a bit chaotic. Lord Mahavir, is he going to go side by side? Do we see 2 cars go through there? Just barely. And Lord Mahavir, a hell of a job. So he's cleared 1 McLaren. He's got the other one trying to get, but the top 5 have already cleared 1.7 seconds due to the chaotic restart. Meowsy just going super deep. And you got Lord Mahavir and Meowsy side by side. Lord Mahavir already getting the spot back up. I don't believe Meowsy's got any wing damage, but he struggled off this restart. And he's dropped a fair few positions. As you got Farmer Sam, he's jumped his teammate Jamie into the top 10. As you got a bit of carnage back here. M-Plate's gone. Tyler, you got Oscar, you got Apollo, you got Saucy, all involved. Oliver, I think, potentially has escaped that. No. Oliver front wing damage. Oscar front wing damage. Apollo front wing damage. So it's been chaotic at the back. I thought it was going to be a little bit of carnage. We've seen it at both ends. So we'll head back up. Lord Mahavir and Zox swapping positions. You got Fat Cat Batman and Websy side by side through turn 17. 18 and 19 as well. But look at Campbell Adams. He's going to maybe fight his way through. Does he have a look down the inside? No, he decides to wait. He's going to open up the corner. Hopefully the 2 guys go deep. We're still going to go side by side as Campbell has lined that up perfectly. He gets past the Sauber. He'll try and fight his way through the Williams of Websy. I don't think it'll be that difficult. Campbell, he thought about the move down the inside, thought it was going to be a bit too tough making it 3 wide, but he opened up the corner for himself, got a lovely run through 2 and 3, made 1 pass available. Websy will have DRS to defend from Jono. I think Campbell will fight this very easily as Checkered Flag gets the move done on Fat Cat. He's lost a couple of positions on this lap. And Campbell Adams won't be able to fight his way through Websy this lap. But Campbell obviously always thinking he'll maybe get Websy at an opportune time, maybe turn 1 again. As you got Jamie getting past Sir Joshi. Sir Joshi, oh, that was very close. As Josh has had an incident, by the way, he's the 3rd retirement. So we're down to 17. And chaotic restart. So Farmer Sam on the new tyres. He gets side by side past Zox. He'll have DRS. So he's made the new tyres work. He's up into P7. He's made 4 positions off the restart. As you got the RB and Ferrari fighting side by side. So Joshi with the DRS able to move up into P9. And you got Fraser Clegg with the wing damage that he suffered at this very corner. Coming up now, turn 18. Clean through that time. And just outside the top 10. But he had pace before he had his spin. So we'll see how far Fraser can move up this grid order. But meanwhile, back up front, Jono, Websy, Campbell within half a second of each other. Checkered Flag in there as well. Fat Cat Batman picks up a 3-second time penalty. Oscar Piastri with the other 3-second time penalty. Websy only 3/10. This looks to be even closer. I say even closer. He's got pressure more so from the Aston Martin of Campbell. Going to be Campbell that probably makes the move, even though both guys have DRS. Oh, I thought Campbell was going to go for it. He decides not to. Maybe Websy was just closing up a little bit too much to Jono. Didn't want to risk just missing a break and going deep into the Mercedes. These 4 very close together. Fat Cat Batman trying to hustle. Was outside DRS. He's now back into it. Just trying to stay with the top 4. Jono trying to hang in there, but Websy's got younger tyres. So does Campbell Adams. As on board with the Aston Martin driver. You can see trying to grab the slipstream from Websy. Jono's going to have to cover. Websy cleanly goes around the outside. Campbell gets hit from behind. Campbell was trying to line up the inside up and under. Not quite happening as you got Jono and Websy fighting side by side. Does Campbell make it 3 wide? Campbell's actually going to try and go around the outside. No, he's not, but he's going to try and do the exact same thing as he did. And he gets the switch back up and under. The 2 have contact behind. We're going to go 3 wide through turn 3. Campbell just barely misses the wall. as Websy and Jono fighting side by side. Jono's going to have the inside line. Thankfully backs out of it, no contact. Beautiful race between these two. Campbell really trying to fight. He's going to send the lunge down the inside. Oh, that's a little bit of contact, I think. Jono has to ride over the curb, but I think Campbell will get the job done. Checkard will have the cleanest line of them all. Down this back straight, he's pushing the Aston Martin as we ride on board. Trying to give Campbell just that little bit more of a toe. Does Checkard send the move down the inside? No, he decides to back out of it. Campbell, as he give me a shitty camera angle. Jono, there we go. Nice aerial shot, side by side, through 12, through 13. Checkard has the inside line. He gets the job done. Up into P3, I think Lord Mahavir, he's done a good job up into P5, but I think he cut the corner. So, back, potentially awarding. Only four drivers now having penalties, as Campbell, bit of DRS. What wings are Checkard running? Checkard absolutely flying. Always Lord sends a move down the inside. Does he pull it up? He avoids the Haas, but he does make the move into turn 17, up into P4. Action happening aplenty in this top group. Fat Cat Batman must have wing damage or changing onto a two-stopper. He comes in. He's going to get some fresh tyres as we see side by side Jono and Lord Mahavir. Jono really hurting with the tyres and he has a big snap. Thankfully he saves it, but he's lost a lot of time. And yeah, he's got the oldest of the guys that have stayed out and has not worked for him. He's currently down in P5. Websy with the half-second lead, but that I have a feeling Campbell will be eating that gap up and potentially making his move. Potentially this lap, Websy was a little bit wide off turn 8. As we're going to have a bit of a breather. It's half a second. Campbell's closing, but I don't think it'll be enough. Checkard. And the rest of the gaps are fairly even. So, chaotic start. But, yeah, as I get a bit of a breather, Sniper, great restart from a lot of the boys. And this fair fighting between the top 5. And, yeah, I thought we were going to have an issue at turn 3. Thankfully, we all survived.
Definitely. 3 wide during that turn usually doesn't work, or at least in my leagues it doesn't, because people decide to throw cars everywhere. But it's good to see everyone being respectful of the space, and fortunate for Campbell, he didn't whack that wall.
He got close, but as I said, he did exactly what he did the couple laps prior. He just opened up, he just went to the left, he opened up the steering, the two in front were battling side by side, and as I said, that's just smart. That's just smart racing. No point sending a lunge down at turn 1 to make it 3 wide. Just get the better exit out, especially with the way turn 2 and 3 go. And as I said, he nearly pulled it off. Obviously, he had to back out of it, otherwise he was probably going to stick it in the wall. But as I said, yeah, it was a great racing. And yeah, Jono, unfortunately, just not having the pace. Oh, as we've got a spinner, and I think Apollo's been caught up in that. So Oscar's had the spin, and I think Apollo's hit him. As we got Fat Cat Batman, he's been hit with that as well. No, actually, he might have just slowed down. So Oscar's picked up a 10-second penalty, and we have our second safety car of the evening. So I said Tier 3 and Tier 2 were clean, but again, it's another turn, another collision at turn 3. Someone's just spinning out of turn 3, and unfortunately, the car behind has just had nowhere to go. So I believe that was, I think that was Oscar. I think Oscar was the one that had the spin, and I think Apollo was the one that ran into him. I think. I saw the dot there, but then I saw the cars come together. So as I said, I'm not sure. I think it was Oscar spinning, Apollo having nowhere to go. But second safety car, and this pretty much helps everybody that was worried about not making it to the end. Problem is, Campbell can't come in. He's done his 2 stops. He won't have a tyre free for him. He has to stay out unless he goes to like a soft tyre. He's not going to have anything. Websy... Will Websy have a tyre? No, Websy will have it.
Websy does have a tyre.
Websy does have a
I think
tyre.
he does.
Checkard has a tyre. Jono will have a tyre. Lord Mahavir, I think, will have a tyre. Yeah, Lord Mahavir will have a tyre as well. So we're going to be in the exact same situation where you've got Farmer Sam, Checkard and Campbell. They're going to be on the old tyres. You're going to have everybody behind them on a new one. Yeah, new mediums. Websy on a new medium. Lord Mahavir on a new medium. Jono on a new medium. Oscar with the pit and quit, unfortunately. he was having a bit of a shocker. Would not surprise me if he picked up actually other damage from that collision as well. As Apollo, he's also done from the day as well. Apollo, obviously, unfortunately, he'll have to be a spectator. Obviously, with the lobby host, he'll have to sit and watch. Unfortunately, Meowsy, after his tough restart, he's back down in P15, but he can get a new set of tyres on. So 15 drivers left. So all drivers scoring points. Oh, Meowsy's actually gone the soft compounder tyre actually. So fix it.
Very risky.
He might come in again. So obviously this safety car won't be in this lap. He's just got to be careful that he actually catches it before it comes in. So Campbell, Checkered, Farmer Sam, Oliver, and Saucity. They're the 5 drivers that have stayed out, and I have a feeling all 5 of them don't have any tyres left to play with, so they've had to stay out. Websy and Lord Mojave and Jono, they're on the new mediums. Sir Joshy and Fat Cat Batman on pretty much new hards. Fat Cat Batman on 2 lap old hards because he obviously made the pit stop a little bit earlier, so he got a little bit unlucky not being able to stay out, but at least he's got new tyres to work with. And then you got Zox, Jamie, Fraser, Tyler, and Meowsy with the new set as well. As these two I think these two have sort of had a bit of a swap of positions. Hopefully they sort themselves out. They don't have any issues, so we thought something interesting needed to happen for Campbell to sort of maybe be in a little bit of trouble to win this race. He's now got a challenge. He's going to have to win this race with 9 lap older tyres than the guys behind him. But he does have 4 cars in between himself and Websy and Lord Mojave. So it's got to be a tough fight. But if you can clear about 4 seconds maybe from checkered flag Farmer Sam, it's going to be tough. But if you can clear that gap by the time Websy gets through, those mediums will start falling off and he might have a chance to survive. It sort of depends on how his tyre wear is. Obviously, not sharing his data for me, but I'm not really surprised at that. So, but looking at sort of 10 laps, you're probably looking at about 30-40% tyre wear. So these guys are really going to struggle that have stayed out.
Yeah, definitely going to struggle. Meowsy's actually come back in on his old hards. 3 laps old.
So he might have just made a
Tyler's pit for softs.
So he might have just made a pit stop, get onto a softs, and then get back onto the hards. So 3 lap old hards, so that will help him in the end. But again, he's going to be at the back, and he's going to have a lot of traffic to pass. And we're only going to probably have... Won't come in... I don't think he'll come in this lap, because Meowsy's got a long way to try and catch up. He's about 30-odd seconds behind. So we'll go one more lap. So we'll start lap 25, I reckon. So we'll have 5 racing laps. Is that going to be long enough for the top 5? As Meowsy picked up a 3-second time penalty trying to catch the field. Bugger. So he was doing a good job. Obviously, Fat Cat would have been the only one with the 3-second. But Meowsy obviously making sure that he doesn't make sure he catches the field. Sadly, he picks up a 3-second penalty. So pretty much, unless a lot of guys in front of him pick up said 3 seconds, I think Meowsy's going to be finishing near the back end of this field, unfortunately.
It's not been the race for him, unfortunately. Had a really good start towards that middle pack of the field and then just, unfortunately, it dropped off. I did see, as Josh, actually, this is, I know it was a long time ago, Josh, I think, may have had contact with his teammate or someone in that middle-ish pack, which would have been very unfortunate if it was with Meowsy. And then he just got massive damage and had to retire.
I've just seen as well, Apollo did pick up side pod damage, so I'm not too surprised he's retired. Race Elite Tool saying that he had side pod damage, so he would have really struggled to the end. But as I said, everybody who's on track now will score at least a point. So Meowsy, even though he's having a tough race, he can still pick himself up a couple of points, especially if we have a collision off this last restart. And as I said, safety car restart with 5 laps to go. You tend to have chaotic restarts. But we'll have a look at the position changes because there's going to be a fair bit to talk about. Campbell, obviously, he retook the race lead before that safety car. Checker's up 1. Farmer Sam's up 5. Oliver's up 9. Saucity up 9. But remember, these 5 are on an old, hard compounder tyre. Websy down 4. Lord Mojave 2. Jono, Sir Joshy, Fat Cat, and Zox. They've lost a few. Fraser from the back of the grid. He's up into P13. He was top 9 for a moment, but he had a spin and hit the wall coming through the final couple of corners through 18 and 19. So he struggled. And sort of been mid-pack after that. But again, he's close to the field now. We'll see what he can do. Tyler's up a couple. And Meowsy, as I said, that last restart has really hurt in terms of their old tyres. And they've dropped. But they're still in it. And they can make a few moves as the restart is underway. We'll keep the tyres up for now. Before we go green, Sniper, who we think's going to win this one. Campbell still, or do we reckon Websy or Lord Mojave with the fresh tyres?
It's going to be very close. Obviously, Campbell, the man with the speed right now, but those hards. I mean, absolutely screaming right at the end. Maybe could be looking at a puncture if the top five don't absolutely just thunder it around the track. As Campbell's thrown it, I'm going to quickly let it back to you. I'm going to say Campbell still gets the W.
It's going to be very tough, but we're back underway. Websy already clearing Saucity. He's made one move already. He's hustling the Ferrari of Oliver in front. He needs to clear him straight away. He's already side by side. He's got to have the outside line, though. If Oliver does just try to fight him, he doesn't. So Websy already making two moves already as Saucy and Oliver, and there's slight contact. That's wing damage. I think that was on Jono. It is Jono losing the right front of his wing as he goes side by side with him and the Ferrari of Oliver. Jono, just really unlucky. He's lost. You can see right side end plate is gone. Hopefully that won't affect him too much. But he's got pace off the mediums. Problem is, he's going to have to get past at least Lord, you reckon, to a potential podium. As you've got Oliver sending the move down the inside, having a bit of a moment. Jono's had to go off track. And that outside line for Oliver has really cost him as he goes side by side. I think that was very close to contact between him and the Sauber as well, the Fat Cat Batman. So chaos in this mid-pack. Obviously, the guys on the old hards really struggling. As you got Websy already side by side with Farmer Sam without DRS. So that's how massive the medium tyres are. Lord Mojave in the background, you can see, gets past the Red Bull, the Saucity, up into P5. So Campbell has got a 1.2 second lead over Checkered Flag. Websy is within 2 seconds of the race lead, but he's got 4 laps left to do it. He needs to clear Checkered Flag this lap. Got to really try and use these medium compounded tyres. Jono gets past Saucity. Going into turn 1, easily clears him before the braking zone as he goes side by side. Oh, and that's contact. The Worms spins the Ferrari. There's more contact. The Sauber's in the wall of Fat Cat Batman. And there's more contact between the Haas and the Ferrari. That's Tyler and Oliver. Chaos in this backpack. And all these guys will have wing damage. So it has just not worked out for all these guys at the back. We'll head back up front because Campbell's actually gapped a little bit. No, VSC. This is the last thing Websy wants. We're under a VSC with 3.5 laps left to go. This VSC needs to clear immediately for Websy to have any chance to capture Campbell. This guy's just got to be a little bit careful into the braking zone of 11. So I think there might be a few reports, I think, incoming for Tier 1. But yeah, I think it was the Williams and Fraser just went way too deep into turn 1, collecting the Ferrari, sadly. So Fraser not having a good Miami race, even though that he's had a great race so far. Oliver picks up a drive-through penalty. Websy on traction out of turn 16, already gets past Checkered Flag. So important for Websy, who got DRS. Websy did get DRS, but Checkered's wings won't be enough, so he drops back down into P3. He's going to have a hell of a job trying to hold back on Lord Mojave. He's going to be super racy. But gap 1.4 out front. Campbell's going to have to defend for his life on old compounded tyres. Lord Mojave trying to get past Farmer Sam. These two battled well side by side earlier on in the race. They're going to try and go again. Lord Mojave trying to force his way through. Farmer Sam's going to ride the curve. Lord Mojave around the outside of 3. He'll have the better traction. He gets the job done. Lord Mojave just needs to get past Checkered Flag and he's on the podium. Jono with the wing damage. Going to try and force his way past the RB as well. But I think Farmer Sam will actually get DRS from Lord Mojave as well. So Jono, he's going to be a little bit stuck behind. He's going to have to use a fair bit of ERS to try and fight his way through. As you have plenty of drivers coming into the pit lane, obviously with the wing damage from that collision through 1, 2 and 3. As Jono, there's got to be side-by-side contact. 3 wide into turn 11. As Jono's got the outside line, he's been shoved off. Chance for Sir Joshi to make a move. wasn't quite close enough. He's going to be on a slightly better tyre in the last lap or two, being on the newer hards, as Jono still stuck behind the RB. And all this battling these three are doing, it's allowing Checkered Flag maybe to keep hold of that P3. Meanwhile, it's a second out in front with just over 2 laps to go. Websy versus Campbell Adams. Surely Websy potentially should have this in the bag. Just needs to catch within DRS and he should fly through. You got Farmer Sam and Jono fighting. Give me a better camera angle, please. Oh, I said both of them nearly goes off track as Sir Joshy says thank you very much and gives himself a free position. As you got the Aston Martin trying to go down the inside, not quite. Zox in P8. Again, fresh medium tyre versus really old hard tyre. Farmer Sam sort of screwed a little bit with the earlier 2-stop. He's really struggling. Meanwhile, lead back up 0.7 of a second. Campbell just needs to get a good exit out of here. Problem is, I don't know what the traction levels are going to be like on that Aston Martin. As we're right on board with the Williams, DRS for Websy. Can he claim home this victory, get his first victory of the season? It's going to be close. He decides not to go for it. He's got a bit of time here. Lap 28 to 29. He's got a lap and a half. He could go for a move on the last lap as we go side by side between the RB and Aston Martin. Farmer Sam really trying to hustle his car, trying to not lose any more positions. Zox nearly made his way through. Lord Mahavir, he's within 0.8. Jono's within a second as well. So Joshy looking strong as well. Can Checkered Flag hold on? Meanwhile, side by side, lead up front. Websy with the DRS decides this is his chance for the move for the race lead. Round in the final corner. Campbell will have DRS back. Does he decide to use it? Or can he hold on through the first sector and get him back down towards turn 11? This will be the final lap battle. As you got Jamie and Farmer Sam swapping positions. So Jamie up inside the top 8. He's having a great race so far. He's kept it out of trouble. Campbell, he just needs to survive through this series of corners. Climbs over the curb. Goes to the right, back over to the left through turn 6. Just barely staying within track limits. As he comes across, he doesn't get the traction that he wants, so he hit that curb on the inside a little bit unfriendly. And he's got 0.7. I think Websy's got the margin just to hold on. He's going to have one DRS zone after this. Campbell's flying though. Not able to do anything. You can see Campbell flashing, his rear flashing as Lord Mahavir. Going to try and go around the outside. Checkered's going to try and bump him off. There's got to be contact between the two. Jono, these two crash, could be on for the final step of the podium. Lord Mahavir does get the job done. Problem is he's got to be without DRS going on to the final straight. Meanwhile, Websy trying to break the slipstream. Campbell will have DRS. Websy's going to cover to the inside. Can Campbell just clean overtake him around the outside? He switches from the outside to the inside to the outside. He's going to try and do the up and under. Does he have the traction out of the corner? I don't think he will. Websy will just come across the line to win the Miami race ahead of Campbell Adams. Lord Mahavir, we're nearly 3 wide through the final corner. There's got to be contact. Who comes across the line first? It is going to be Jono. He was off track, but I think he got it. Checkered left the session, but I think he'll be class, I think, in P3. But Jono, Lord Mahavir, and Checkered Flag, they were pretty much all 3 wide. I think half of them were off track, so we might see an incident report with that finish. But Jono somehow gets the 100th of a second ahead. But shout out to Websy as well. Shout out to our top 3, obviously. But Websy managing to hold on. Campbell obviously trying to trick Websy, maybe to go a little bit deep into that sort of final braking corner. But obviously tried to do the switch back on him. Didn't quite have the traction, obviously, with the old hards on the inside. And Websy able to hold on. And then obviously we needed multiple camera angles of that. But yeah, Jono, Lord Mahavir, and Checkered, we figured that was going to be chaotic at the end. But hell of a race. Lord Mahavir, whatever sort of happened, maybe in the incidents with that last lap. Fantastic race for him. Good points for Alpine. But yeah, Websy gets his first victory of the season. Great effort. Campbell, I thought he was going to be in a lot more trouble, but he nearly fought that back. So shout out to those top 2. as we have a look at said podium. So Websy from Campbell, from Jono, who I thought was going to be in a little bit of trouble after losing that M plate on the restart, but he kept himself in play in P3. So as I said, great finish, and yeah, shout out to all the drivers. As I said, Campbell will be, Checker will be a little bit higher up, so he's obviously left the session. Fraser picks up driver of the day. So quickly going through. So you got Websy from Campbell from Jono at the moment. As I quickly just make a quick change the need from Campbell. There you are. Lord Marvier in 4th, Sir Joshi, Zox, Jamie in P7, Saucity, Fraser finishing P9. That's why he got driver of the day. 20th to 9th, and Meowsy in P10, Tyler, Fat Cat, Oliver, Shady, Checkered Flag. So Checkered Flag finished 6.1 behind, so he finished in P5, did Checkered. So yeah, so he'll get classified there. So Farmer Sam in 15th, Oscar in 16th with the DNF alongside Apollo, Josh, the letter P, and Checkered Flash as well. So 5 DNFs. Farmer Sam, he dropped, so I think Farmer Sam finished in P8, I think, for Farmer Sam. So a little bit of fixing up that we'll have to do with the results, but yeah, no doubt about who was our podium, and we'll get them in very shortly for a bit of a chat. But Sniper, bit of a chaotic finish. I sort of took over there probably a little bit too much, but that's a hell of a finish, and we saw a hell of a race tonight at Miami.
Absolute cracking race, mate. It's all good with everything. For now, unless the stewards decide to ruin my moment, that means I didn't predict all the positions, but I predicted who was on the podium, I believe. Because I did say Campbell, Adams, Websy, and then threw Jono in for the memes, and the memes worked for now.
For now, but I don't think Websy or Campbell did anything wrong. It might just be a question of sort of that finish, because I think there was one car obviously off track, and as I said, a bit of bumping and grinding through 17 as well. So we'll wait and see. But yeah, and I have a feeling there's going to be a couple of drivers who'll be a little bit disappointed. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see if these boys want to have a bit of a chat. So we got Campbell, we got Websy, and we have Jono. See if any of them want to jump in. We'll head back to our filler screen, and we'll get our top 3 up. But yeah, very close, obviously. And I think at the end, with the way those guys were battling, I think, yeah, Jono finished 6 seconds off the lead. So Campbell, great pace, even though sort of he was on really old tyres. But Websy picking up the victory. Oh, and he also picked up fastest lap as well. So max points for Williams this evening. So I just had a quick look at that, and yeah, great lap. Great lap time he did. Not sure when he did it, but he's clearly did that potentially with the new tyres. So we just wait for a couple of these guys to hop in. Just get this top 3 graphic. There we go. Yeah, so your top 3, Websy fastest lap as well. So we will have a chat with, we've got 2 of our 3. We'll start with our P2 while we potentially wait for Jono. Campbell, great drive. I mean, you're clear by 7/10 in qualifying. Without the 2 safety cars, this race was probably yours in the bag. But great effort on those really old hard tyres to actually try and fight Websy off. Not quite enough in the end.
Yeah, qualifying was good. Like, I was on for a PB, but just messed up in the middle and lost about 10th and a half. But yeah, the race was going well. Like, you know, tried a different strategy of the 2-stop. Usually the 1-stop is obviously the way, because avoid all the traffic. But yeah, just thought 2-stop because that way I can just push flat out the whole race. And then it was going really well. Like, I caught up to the guys that had stayed out to do the 1-stop pretty quickly. And then yeah, like pace was good. Pace was really strong. And yeah, then just safety cars. Well, the first one, actually was okay. Like, obviously it wasn't ideal because it put everyone kind of on an even playing field. But then the second one, yeah, just screwed over me, Checkit, and anyone who stayed out. And honestly, I thought I'd get a little bit more swamped than I did. So to battle Websy, it was a really good battle with me and Websy at the end there. So no, GG's to him. But yeah, just the driving standards, I guess, just not ideal, I guess.
Yeah, I think we saw that. We sort of probably with while you had that sort of 6 second gap in the end because you sort of had the guys on the fresh mediums just trying to close their way through, and yeah, it was a bit of mayhem on that last restart. But obviously we know you great pace all round. Obviously as a reserve, we got Mexico and Brazil coming up. Any of those particular tracks interesting you potentially for another reserve seat?
Yeah, I'll most likely, if I get chosen, obviously, I'll do those two. Two good tracks for me. So, yeah, I should be able to do them.
Well, congratulations, P2. As I said, you were a little bit hamstrung at the end, but again, you managed to find pace and great battle with you and Websy and P2 finish. So more points for yourself. Congratulations.
Thanks, mate.
All right, Sniper, do you want to have a bit of a chat with our P3 who joined us now, Jono?
Alrighty, Johnny, my boy. Farmer Sam's little sheep is yachting out of the old cattle again.
Oh,
How have you
great.
managed to do that,
Awesome.
mate?
How did I manage to do that? I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Mate, obviously,
It was,
sorry.
no, you go. It's okay.
Sorry, absolutely. Just, mate, you've had a very underrated drive today. You had a very good battle just to the end. Talk us through that entire race, mate.
Yeah, just carnage, I guess. And safety car galore. I got a bit unlucky with the first safety car because I think it was the first one where I couldn't pit because I chose the balance setup to have another medium, so that wouldn't have made it to the end. So I had to stay up. And then the other safety car that came out really helped me, so I could chuck on a fresh set of mediums because I knew softs were gonna be really bad, like after 2 laps. So yeah, just survived, I guess. And then that last lap was something else. It was crazy.
It was absolutely something else, mate. You obviously had that really massive scrap for P3 just at the end with the Alpine of Lord Mahavir. Did you think in your mind coming up to the last lap with everything on the play and on the line, I should say, did you think you had it in you?
I did, but sometimes people can make mistakes. Let's just leave it as that. They can make some mistakes, especially with their driving. So, yeah. So I just chose to play it. Honestly, I just chose to play it safe, and then when I had the chance, I went for it in the last straight.
Yep. Fucking. Sorry for swearing, but fucking lovely drive again, mate. Congratulations. You getting P3 actually helped me out quite a bit because old mate Scotty and I, we played a bit of who finishes where, and because you did finish P3, you helped me a lot. You actually helped me predict the podium like spot on. I didn't get the positions, but old Campbell, Websy, and you just in a different class today, mate. All three of you.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations to Jono, and happy with more points for Merck, so we'll take that. P1, Websy, first win of the season, finally getting on the board. Max points as well with you pitching fastest lap. Great race, obviously had to work for it and pass 4 cars at the end, but made it beautifully and able to hold off Campbell at the end.
Yeah, the end wasn't too bad because the fresh tyres obviously, but going into the race, I just was not hopeful at all because in practice I was just really nowhere, to be honest. I managed to get a good lap in quali, my first lap, but didn't really improve on it much after that. And then, yeah, in the race I was just cooking my tyres. Like, I had to box lap 10, I think, or 11 because I was going to get a puncture if I stayed out. So, yeah, it really wasn't good for me. But then the safety cars definitely helped me. Yeah, because I don't think I was going to make it to the end on a 1-stop, and I think I left it a bit too late to go for the 2-stop. So, yeah, safety cars definitely helped. But it is a shame to see the safety cars because it ruined what was going to be probably an interesting race. They did help me, but yeah, it's just disappointing, let's say, to see quite a lot of safety cars, which kind of ruined the racing.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, restarts obviously cause a little bit of carnage, but mindset, obviously, you cleared the 3 cars in front of you. Campbell Adams, you got to within his DRS with, I think, 2.5 laps left. What was sort of the game plan there? Wait till the final lap or sort of, and hope that your tyres were able to sort of pull your way outside that 1 second, or sort of how were you thinking through? Obviously, you actually had to fight right up to the death with Campbell on the at turn 17 on that last lap. How was your thought process through that?
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't think my tyres were really going to hold on because the mediums in the first stint really weren't that great. And yeah, but they did manage to hold on pretty well. So I caught him on the second last lap on the last straight. So I thought I'll go past him, man, because of the dirty air in this game. Hopefully I could have got enough of a gap to just stay safe on the last lap. But he did catch quite a lot in the middle sector because the low speed corners, dirty air doesn't really affect it too much, so he caught right up. But I did save quite a lot of battery, about 70%, so I just burnt all the way down, and it was just enough to hold him off. But yeah, it was a good fight.
Great effort. More obviously, max points for yourself. Fraser, obviously, with sort of the eventful night he's had, I think he finishes in P9. So great points for Williams. Mexico next week. How you feeling?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I haven't done Mexico on this game, but last game was quite a good track for me, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
But you did well. Fantastic fight at the end. P1 for you, Websy. 25 points in the bag for Williams as well. Congratulations and good luck next week in Mexico.
Yeah, thank you.
And that will wrap us up. Sniper, final thoughts on that one? That was a hectic race, fantastic battling, 3 wide at some points for a few separate times, but a great end to the Miami weekend.
Mate, you said it all just in that short little sentence, mate. Chaos, driving, what can you want, mate? As a neutral, that was pretty nice to watch. You know, just sat back, relaxed, bring out your popcorn, sit on your deck chair or whatever you decide to sit on, and yeah, that was just a good race start to finish.
Yeah, absolutely, and pleasure to bring it to you. So next time Inters will be live is next week, and we travel down south to Mexico, and should be a fun one. Tier 3 Friday night, 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, and then Tier 2 Saturday, Tier 1 Sunday. Your usual times, 5 p.m. So looking forward to it. Sniper, pleasure having you in the box. Sort of took away from your Tier 1 spot. You've done it the last week or two, and pleasure to have you joining me in the box tonight.
Nah, mate, it's always a pleasure to have someone else to listen to my my rambling and waffling. Finally, funny, I can actually calm down a little bit.
And I think I only heard 3 swear words today, so better this week. But as I said, enjoying the passion, and again, big thank you for hopping in the box with me today.
No problem, brother.
And that will wrap us up. Guys, thank you very much. We will catch you next weekend, Mexico, on Friday night, Tier 3. Thank you very much for watching. We'll catch you then.